Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It has been a few weeks now since the Bloodline disbanded. Ever since Paul Heyman betrayed Roman Reigns, each member, specifically of the OG group, has gone their separate ways. However, could a real-life member reunite the faction despite the broken bonds? The answer to this question is no. After all, there is too much bad blood between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman right now. That being said, real-life Bloodline member Naomi seems keen to at least hold a meeting between the members of the group, in an attempt to finally use her connections to her advantage. As of this writing, Naomi, who is married to Jimmy Uso, has been doing some exceptional work as a heel on SmackDown. Currently, she is embroiled in a feud with Jade Cargill, and from the looks of it, their rivalry is unlikely to end anytime soon. Nevertheless, Aglow seems keen to end this battle ASAP. As such, she took to X recently, where she tagged each and every member of the OG Bloodline, and even her father-in-law, Rikishi. She claimed that she is ready to use some of the nepotism that the WWE Universe says she has, and as such, has requested a meeting. Now, of course, Naomi is just playing her role as a heel perfectly. However, it is something to take note of. Perhaps she will officially join the group somewhere further down the line as its first female member. However, as of now, it is nothing more than speculation. Speaking of the Bloodline, while the OGs have parted ways, the new group is still standing strong, at least for now. Led by Solo Sikoa, the group is still very much functional on SmackDown. However, this too may come to an end very soon. Right now, there is a lot of friction between Sikoa and his enforcer, Jacob Fatu. Since winning the United States Championship, the Samoan werewolf seems more and more certain that he does not need his cousin's help. The Street Champion is noticing this too, and with that in mind, one cannot help but believe the group is on the verge of breaking up. Nowadays, it feels like it's just a matter of when and where. With Backlash 2025 just a day away, all eyes will be on Fatu as he defends his title in a fatal four-way. Will the breakup happen then? At this point, there is no telling, but the WWE Universe should keep themselves ready. The WWE Universe is still reeling from the shocking events of WrestleMania 41. Roman Reigns, the long-reigning tribal chief and former undisputed WWE Universal Champion, lost his crown in what many consider one of the most stunning betrayals in WWE history. And at the center of the chaos? Paul Heyman, the man who stood by Roman's side for over 4 years, calling him the head of the table, turned his back on Reigns at the most pivotal moment imaginable. For years, Heyman has been the brains behind the Bloodline's dominance, a key player in Roman Reigns' transformation from the big dog into the tribal chief. His cunning promos, his manipulation of allies and enemies alike, and his quiet orchestration of championship defenses made the Bloodline one of the most dominant factions in wrestling history. But all empires eventually crumble, and in Heyman's eyes, it seems the fall of Roman Reigns was not just inevitable. It was necessary. WrestleMania 41 saw the shocking defection of Heyman to a new allegiance, potentially with Solo Sikoa or another emerging force within the Anoa'i family lineage. Now speculation is swirling that another real-life Bloodline member could be stepping up, not to betray Roman, but to bring the family back together. In the aftermath of Heyman's betrayal, Roman Reigns was left devastated. His stoic silence in the days following the event has only fueled speculation that a monumental change is coming. Sources close to WWE Creative have hinted that talks are ongoing regarding a major reformation of the Bloodline, but with a twist. This wouldn't be a continuation of Roman's dominant era. Instead, it would be a rebirth, possibly led by another Anoa'i family member who has yet to officially enter the storyline or has been absent from WWE television for some time. The question on everyone's mind is, who could that be? The most talked about possibility is Jacob Fatu. The real-life cousin of Roman Reigns and brother to Solo Sikoa and the Usos, Jacob has long been touted as one of the most intense and dominant Samoan wrestlers outside of WWE. His time in NLW earned him respect across the industry. With his ferocity in the ring and authentic blood ties to the family, he may be the only one with the credibility to unite the fractured pieces of the bloodline. Bringing Jacob into the fold could serve multiple purposes for WWE. First, it would reignite interest in the bloodline story from a fresh angle. Where once Roman was the all-powerful tribal chief, he is now vulnerable, wounded, and betrayed. Jacob, with no past allegiance to Paul Heyman and no scars from the recent family war, could position himself as the one man capable of bringing order back to the chaos. His entrance could also symbolize a rejection of Paul Heyman's manipulation and the dawning of a new era rooted in respect, not control. Secondly, Jacob Fatu represents a stylistic shift. Where Roman carried himself with regal dominance and Solo embodies brute force, Jacob brings a chaotic, animalistic energy that hasn't been seen in the family dynamic. Imagine the drama of him entering unannounced, demolishing opponents with unmatched ferocity, not out of loyalty to Roman, but out of a deeper sense of family honor. He wouldn't necessarily be Roman's savior. He could very well challenge Roman's legacy before deciding whether the family is worth saving. Then there's the looming shadow of the Usos. Jay and Jimmy have walked diverging paths over the past year, with G trying to establish himself as a single star and Jimmy finding himself caught in a crossfire. Their allegiances have shifted so often that trust seems impossible, but a bloodline without them doesn't feel complete. Jacob's presence could potentially be the unifying force that neither Roman nor Heyman could achieve. Perhaps Jacob's arrival wouldn't just be about Roman or Solo, but about pulling all the brothers back into one circle. A reformed bloodline led by Jacob Fatu, with Roman, Solo, Jay, and Jimmy each playing a role, could set the stage for one of the most compelling storylines WWE has ever told. Redemption, betrayal, and the reclamation of legacy. Paul Heyman's betrayal must also be dissected. Was this his endgame all along? Did he see Roman weakening, see the rising tide of Solo Sikoa's aggression, and jump ship to preserve his own relevance? Heyman's loyalty has always been transactional. Whether with Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, or Roman Reigns, Heyman has stood behind power. His betrayal at WrestleMania may not have been an impulsive decision. It may have been the culmination of months of quiet manipulation. There are whispers backstage that Heyman had been in Solo's ear for weeks, possibly even playing both sides in a bid to position himself next to the next tribal chief. If that's the case, the seeds of Heyman's betrayal weren't planted at WrestleMania. They've been growing all along. Solo Sikoa, now potentially allied with Heyman, may be poised to lead his own version of the bloodline, one that mirrors Roman's initial run but with a more ruthless, less calculating approach. Solo has always been the enforcer, the silent destroyer. But with Heyman guiding his words and actions, he could transform into something far more dangerous. A cold, efficient warlord who destroys without conscience, and who sees family not as blood, but as weakness. If this vision is true, then Jacob Fatu's involvement becomes even more critical. He could be the counterbalance, the mirror image of Solo with a contrasting ideology. That family must be protected, not ruled. The eventual collision between Jacob and Solo, both real-life brothers and symbolic opposites, could become the next great bloodline feud. Roman Reigns, meanwhile, faces the most critical juncture in his career. With his title gone, his special counsel turned traitor, and his family in shambles, Roman must choose whether to seek vengeance or redemption. Will he try to reclaim his throne through brute force, perhaps aligning once again with the Usos? Or will he retreat into silence, biding his time until the right moment to strike back? WWE's portrayal of Roman over the next few weeks will tell us everything. A humbled Roman, perhaps even one seeking the help of Jacob Fatu to rebuild, could generate incredible sympathy. A bitter Roman, unwilling to relinquish his claim as tribal chief, could spiral into villainy again, maybe even finding common cause with Jacob, not as equals, but as temporary allies against a greater threat in Solo and Heyman. Another intriguing factor is the possibility that this storyline could echo real-life emotions and tensions within the Anoa'i family. WWE has always blurred the lines between fiction and reality when it comes to bloodline storytelling. The promos delivered by Roman J. and Jimmy often reference real pain, real betrayals, and real family dynamics. If Jacob Fatu enters the picture, it could bring another layer of truth to the story. His absence from WWE until now, despite being one of the most dominant Samoan wrestlers outside the company, has always been questioned. Perhaps the timing is no accident. Perhaps the plan has always been to save him for this very moment, when the bloodline has fallen, and only someone from outside the system can bring it back together. From a business perspective, the timing is perfect. WWE is seeking to build fresh narratives following WrestleMania, and with several top stars injured or on reduced schedules, the company needs a storyline with depth, star power, and emotional resonance. The Bloodline saga has been WWE's most successful long-term story in decades. Rebooting it with new leadership, new rivalries, and the lingering presence of betrayal offers months, if not years, of compelling television. And let's not forget the fans. The WWE Universe has been emotionally invested in the Bloodline for years. They've watched Jey Uso break down on camera, Roman demand respect, Jimmy flip-flop between sides, and Solo slowly emerge from the background. The reaction to Heyman's betrayal at WrestleMania proves the story still has the power to shock. Introducing Jacob Fatu now, the lowest point, could reignite that emotional fire. There's also the dream match factor. Imagine a summer clash between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu with the title of Tribal Chief hanging in the balance. Or a Survivor Series-style team match pitting Roman, Jacob, and the Usos against Solo, Heyman, and a new breed of loyalists. The possibilities are endless. The key is timing. WWE will need to carefully craft Jacob's introduction. He cannot simply appear as a savior. His character must be grounded in authenticity, torn between loyalty to family and his own ambitions. The best stories aren't about heroes or villains. They're about complex characters making impossible choices. Jacob Fatu can be that complexity. Meanwhile, Paul Heyman will undoubtedly continue to weave his manipulative web. Don't be surprised if he tries to sway the Usos to his side, arguing that Roman failed them, that Solo represents a new beginning. Heyman is a master of finding cracks and exploiting them. If WWE allows him to continue this descent into a power-hungry puppet master, it could elevate the entire narrative. It's even possible that Heyman's betrayal is part of a deeper plot, one that hasn't fully played out yet. Perhaps his allegiance to Solo is only temporary. Perhaps he's still playing both sides, waiting to see which Anoa'i rises strongest from the ashes. As of now, until WWE is playing things close to the vest, Roman Reigns has made no public statement. Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman have appeared only in backstage segments, offering cryptic messages about dominance and destiny. Jay and Jimmy have stayed silent, and Jacob Fatu's name has not yet been mentioned on air. But the undercurrents are undeniable. Something is brewing. A storm is coming to WWE, and it carries the unmistakable roar of Samoan thunder. In the coming weeks, fans should watch for key signals. Will Roman return and confront Heyman directly? Will the Usos be forced to choose sides again? Will Jacob Fatu make a surprise appearance, perhaps at a premium live event or on a shocking episode of SmackDown? And most importantly, will the family that once ruled WWE find its way back to unity, or will it splinter further, consumed by betrayal, ambition, and blood? No matter what happens next, one thing is clear. The story of the Bloodline isn't over. It's entering its most dangerous chapter yet. And when family bleeds, it stains deeper than any championship ever could. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.